What's up, y'all? We are right back at it. Welcome to the Cajun Libertarian Live. I'm your host, the Cajun Libertarian. For everybody that's brand new to the show, we welcome you. We love you. Please stay tuned. Please keep engaged, because one thing that I really try to implement on this show is having fun first, because I truly and honestly believe that if we have fun first, then the information will flow. It'll come right out. And so we welcome you for all the new viewers and hope you stick around. Usually I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday with interviews at 8:30 Central Standard Time. And then the Cajun and Eskimo show on Muddy Waters Media on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, which is the Freedom Time. Muddy Waters Media on all their platforms. Thank you very, very much. I do have a website. I'm going to burn through these as fast as possible, y'all. I promise you. You know I always try to do try to burn through them. CajunLibertarian.com. You can catch all of my merchandise there. We have brand new slogans, t-shirts, buttons, stickers, and all the works. I'm excited. I'm like wearing mine right now. I can't wait for my next one to come in. I have to pay for my own stuff, but that's the way it goes when you use third party. And I am using a local business in Texas, and so a very private small business. And thank y'all very much. Thank you for Ashley Smoot for setting that up. Done with that, CajunLibertarian.com. You can catch me on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can get your podcasts, because I stream to Anchor now. And look, I don't know what's going on, but my Anchor is taking off. Anchor is like a podcast setting, right? It's not like this video where on YouTube, if you don't pay for the subscription, you have to if you shut your phone down, it shuts the interview off, or the show, whatever you're listening to, or Facebook, same thing. Anchor, Spotify, Google, Apple, they don't do that. You can listen to it in audio version, and I am pretty much all over the place now. That is because of y'all. Thank you so much. 100% because of y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Join the Libertarian Party Seafood Caucus, as always, co-founded by myself and Eskimo Libertarian, which I have the better seafood. Cajun, right there. Better seafood. Better seafood. Spike Matt. That look, that's my notes. Just in case y'all thought I was joking. Oh, you can't see it. Spike Matt. Muddy Waters Media. Spike and Matt on Tuesday, Spike on Wednesday, Matt on Thursday. And I'll plug Not a Real Libertarian Podcast. Sure, why not Chris Darnell? Because mine's still better anyway. So if y'all don't know, him and I are friends, and we pick on each other all the time. PayPal, GoFundMe, Stripe. You can find me anywhere. Everything that we're going to get donated over the next couple of weeks or over the next few days is going to go to the Tunica event, which is next weekend. It closed in on us fast, brutally fast. And so with all that being said, I passed over a few, but I do not care, because you guys, I trust you so much. You have been excellent to me in the fundraising and monetary department, and I expect nothing less than that very, very all the time. I am very floored, and I'm stumbling here because that's why. I'm floored at the support that y'all have given me, and I've been able to push that support out just as fast as you've given it to me, because a lot of people need help, and that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to help people on an individual basis, because we don't want the government to do it. And so thank you very much. I will go ahead and show this something about goat yoga, and then we're done with that. All right. Without further ado, everybody knows her. She's awesome. She's very, very eccentric and has a huge personality. And I'm very excited to have on the Caryn Ann Harlos. With that being said, let's bring her on.
Hey there. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm doing good. As I told you before, my voice might give out a little because I came back with a gift of a cold.
Right. From Porkfest, right?
Either that or Michigan. But whatever. It was a free rider on the way home, but sorry.
Yeah, it's good. And you do this stuff like we're doing right now all the time. And so
yeah.
It's expected. There's JJ,
my friend. I just got off doing my Friday night historical little thingy. So I do that every Friday. So that's what I was doing right before this. And then right after this, I've got a meeting with some people about delegate counts. So there's no rest for the wicked.
No, you are, oh my God, you are busy, busy, busy.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I can imagine. How was Pork Fest?
It was wonderful. I mean, I can't judge it as like a normal pork fest because of everything I'd been through and like the welcome. That was extraordinary. So but I can tell just by looking around like what it would normally be like. But like I was just completely overwhelmed by the love and support that I got there. It was really eye-opening because something I've really come to understand about like national politics and the Libertarian National Committee is it truly is quite a stifling echo chamber of the managerial class. And I'm saying that with disdain, where basically we're all in a room huffing our own farts all the time. And it was nice to get out into the fresh air and realize that the general libertarian community is way different than this view that they tend to have on the LNC. And I don't know where they get the idea that the general libertarian community, am I allowed to cuss? I should have asked that before.
No,
okay.
You're fine.
Gives a flying fuck about the really quite arbitrary decorum rules, but they don't. And, you know, they can sit around their tables in their meetings and think that that's what everyone cares about and that that's bringing liberty. And without even realizing like how much people don't care. And also, ironically, considering how woke some of them consider themselves are, how very Caucasian oriented and elitist it is. And the reason I say that is the different cultures out there all have different standards of decorum. And what's considered the typical boardroom polite is just so white. And it's funny because they think they're so enlightened. And I just laugh. You know, I come from a much more hard scrabble background. My dad, when I grew up, he was a drug dealing bookie. You know, these niceties of holding your pinky out the proper way when you're holding your teacup, that's not my background and not my past. And so I'm kind of like over trying to conform to this phony baloney plastic like now. And I realize that your average libertarian is more like me than they are like them.
Your average libertarian is so much more focused on what is going on in their community than anything that's happening on the net. I can't tell you how many times I've come across when somebody will ask the question, what's going on in the LNC? And somebody else in the room is like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just not that big of a focus for us specifically. And I think, you know, look, we talked about it right before the show.
Yeah.
I talk to people all over the country, but it's always about their little tiny community. It's very rare that we ever even talk about the LNC. And so to hear you communicate that is pretty fitting, in my opinion. Again, my opinion's very short-sighted.
Well, I've always thought that, you know, I've always been a bit of an outsider, but these past few weeks, though, have just made me really just realize how out of touch in general the average LNC member is.
That seems to be kind of a trend in national politics as a whole, really, though, right?
I think so. Yeah. But you would hope that wouldn't be the case with libertarian politics. Yeah. But it is, in fact. And I think I was probably starting to become more accustomed to that world that I kind of had to be shocked out of it. Yes, and Vicki and I were talking about delegate allocations earlier, and I'm talking with someone else later tonight about delegate allocations. Delegate allocations are going to be my world for the next couple months. Nice.
That's a very honorable gig. And how do you plan? I have to ask, right? Because and Vicki said, I'm sorry. Vicki says, yes, yes, yes. How do we do that? How do we diagram that? How do we implement it? How do we win with it as well?
What are you talking about? Well, it's for the national convention, and there's a formula in the bylaws, so it's just a matter of just figuring it all out, but this is a rougher year because of census and other things.
Yeah,
And, in one way, though, I was kind of laughing when they were trying to throw me off. I was thinking to myself, which of you suckers is going to do the delegate allocations if you throw my ass off? I'm not so sure they were thinking about that. This is like the worst time to try to get rid of your secretary. They should at least let me do all the work first. So maybe that's what they're waiting on. Maybe they'll try again after I do the delegate allocations.
That does seem short-sighted. That's for sure. But so like I was asking you, with all of that responsibility, it looks like you're going to stay. So we talked about that beforehand, right? For those of you that don't know, explain that to us, please.
Well, it depends on who you ask, but I'll tell you, my particular point of view is that I pressed too hard on trying to uncover what happened with that whole New Hampshire debacle, and all the right people didn't like it, so they tried to throw me off the LNC. And I do think it was absolutely retaliatory against a whistleblower. That's not, of course, the story that they tell. They tell that I've got this long-standing history of just being so difficult to work with. But funny, the people who were moving to remove me because I was just so difficult, just 2 weeks before voted to put me on 2 more committees, including chairing one. One of these things is not like the other. Either you were a terrible LNC member then when you were voting for this horrible person, or something changed in those 2 weeks. I know what I think the answer is.
What do you think the answer is?
Something changed in those 2 weeks, and I went after one of their best friends because he had tried to take over the New Hampshire party, and there was much hurt of the butt over that.
Much hurt. That's pretty. I'm probably going to steal that from you, to be honest with you. Much hurt of the butt. That's also.
I mean, their behavior 2 weeks before showed that they didn't think I was quite such a terrible person that nobody could work with. Then all of a sudden, there's this long-standing history, and that so whatever. I don't even know what to say to that. I know what I think, and I do think it was whistleblowing retaliation. And if it wasn't, you couldn't have made it look that way anymore if you tried. It was like when Nick was lurking in the back of my Pork Fest speech, where, he's got the reputation. People think he's a CIA agent. He's not. But, that's like the rumor. But he's lurking in the back of my speech with these dark sunglasses on, furtively filming me. I'm like, dude, this isn't helping dispel the myth that you're a CIA agent because you couldn't look more like one if you tried. He's not, by the way. Right. But, yeah, I think he kind of now tries to play that up because, dude, really? You totally look like an undercover agent.
We have a question from Dr. Fletcher. A really good question. I only know a superficial answer, so I want to hear what you have to say. Question for Caryn Ann Harlos. Other than putting forward a presidential candidate, what is the purpose of the LNC?
Well, we don't put forth a presidential candidate, so that's not even one of our purposes. The delegates do that. A lot of people think the LNC has a lot to do with the presidential candidate. We have nothing to do with the presidential candidate. The purpose is, if you're a nationwide political party, you have to have a national committee of some sort. It's to fulfill certain filing requirements, but it's also to put on the national convention and to take care of things which require the economy of scale that a national organization can provide, such as the CRM database, such as coordinating ballot access, those sorts of things. And providing a national press contact. But there's really not a lot that we do. We do a lot less than people tend to think we do. So, I'm beginning to think we don't actually need like a full-time LNC. Like the few things that we do could be taken care of maybe by a coalition of the state chairs.
I've heard this.
But I don't know. I know just from knowing party history that the LNC has been more trouble than it's worth for most of the party's history. And it sucks up a lot of air in the room, and people get too like all worked up over who the national chair is, when who the national chair is should be so insignificant. Your state chair is much more important than your national chair. And I wish people would stop making such a big deal out of that sort of thing. There are some things we do need to do well, and that's about it. And other than that, we should be out of sight, out of mind.
I am going to 100% agree with everything you just said. Not having known anything about the National Party, quite honestly, very little. Mm-hmm. I have interviewed a significant amount of state chairs across the country, and I have yet to find one that I dislike, and I have also yet to find one that is not straight activism, boots on the ground. And you're going to be hard pressed to find a disagreement with me on having the state chairs kind of coordinate. Other than, okay, all right, I'll play in devil's advocate, right? I'll find one thing that I'll say I don't like that about it, or don't like about that. And that's that our state chairs already have their hands effing full.
They do. But how much extra time do they have to waste dealing with LNC bullshit that they wouldn't have to deal with? I don't know. It's listen, take it from the source of somebody who was just politically targeted. So I'm not the biggest fan of the LNC, but I have a lot of biases right now. So perhaps I'm just talking out of like spite, and in a year I'd feel differently, because I am like extremely I don't want to say spiteful, but I am extremely, butthurt. I am very, very butthurt right now.
Anybody would be.
Yeah.
Anybody. We're human beings. And so that's something else I would say to everybody that watches people sitting on these cameras and sitting on the LNC or state chairs. We're human beings. I don't get attacked like that very much. I know that your life as of recent has been pretty intense. You're already an intense person. And so this probably only added to it.
It did. I don't get the politics of personal destruction, which is exactly what it was. There's plenty of people that if we're all going to be honest, there's plenty of people in the liberty movement. Maybe we don't get along with the best, or we don't like the best. But I can't imagine going after somebody to try to destroy all of their work. I just ignore people I don't like, or I stay away from them. I work with them where I have to, but the absolute vindictiveness and backstabbing from personal friends, that is what got me. There were people I thought were my friends involved in all of this. And it's probably going to be a long time before I fully trust people again. I'm pretty traumatized by the whole thing. I laugh about it and I make jokes because that's how I deal. But it was pretty bad. And it showed me that libertarian politics are just as ugly, perhaps even uglier, because the stakes are so small as the big parties.
Yeah. And I can tell you, only having been doing this for a little bit of time, 3 months on this podcast thing, and about 4 months with the Cajun Libertarian brand. What I do have a bunch of experience in, and you're probably going to, I know you're going to know what I'm talking about here, because I've seen some of your posts. I've put in a decade in church ministry as a worship pastor and as other ministerial duties, part of the backstage, if you will, quote unquote, backstage ministry. I see how ugly it gets. I've been through how quick people are that you thought were friends, that you thought were supporters, that will stab you in the back really quick. I do like what Larry Sharp said. And he said at some point, somebody you think is going to be a friend is going to stab you in the back. And in politics, you got to turn around, take that knife out of your back and hand it right back to him, and then ask him, are you ready to put the first foot forward again? And wow, that is tough. That's tough. But I mean, I know you're going through this right now. I've been through it a bunch. Mm-hmm. So those words are great, but as we're in these emotions, like I've been in so many times and like you're going through, that's just not easy to apply.
And I don't agree with them.
No, I'm not against you disagreeing with them. Go ahead. Tell us about
because, you can only really be backstabbed by people you trust. And just because you have to work with people for however much more time, doesn't mean you have to trust them. I think that's actually quite foolish to say you're going to take the knife out of your back and hand it right back to them. I don't think that's admirable. I think that's stupid. I'll be able to work with everybody. I can work with anybody, but I'm not going to trust those people again to be able to stab me in the back again. That's just life. That's just life. That's not a libertarian thing. But yeah, it does tough that you have to still be able to work amicably. If that's what he meant, that you need to turn around and still be able to smile at them and be civil and work together towards liberty. If that's what he meant, I agree. But no, there won't be any more of those personal phone calls or, oh my God, you're in the middle of the breakup. How can I help you? Like, this is the relationship I had with these people. They were in my house. Now that won't ever happen again. But yeah, to be able to still work cordially together, that can be tough too. But mature people have to do that.
And I hope I didn't misquote him right there, by the way. It's very
you
possible.
Probably didn't, because he's such a nice guy that it sounds like something he would say. But no, once I get stabbed in the back, I don't trust again. And it's also because everyone, I'm finding out that everybody has all these core values. It's kind of like Jonathan Haidt's book where he talked about the righteous mind. But one of my core values is loyalty. So when I'm friends with somebody, I'm the most loyal friend you could ever have. So it kind of like almost is a shock to my system when that's not reciprocated, because it's unfathomable to me to be disloyal. So when someone's very disloyal to me, I'm like uncomprehending, because it's just not my value structure. And other people, they have different value structures. It doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just different.
That's right.
There's, as I like to say, there are no angels and devils in this world. Everyone's a little bit of both. And even though I'm mad at these people, it's not like they're bad people. They did a bad thing. We all do bad things. And that, I think, makes dealing with it all better. It can be easy to cast somebody as the ultimate villain, but really in someone else's life, I'm the villain. So keeping that perspective keeps you a bit humble and not, looking at them and realizing they're just human beings who screwed up. They're just not going to screw up again with my feelings.
No, I think we're on guard first. And then after something like that, then you're pretty much gated off. I do love look, we can still work together, still push the liberty movement forward. I'm totally on board with all of that. We trust very rarely already, just because we've been through exactly what you're talking about right now through church ministry. People that you're supposed to, you think that they're the best people. Yeah. They're supposed
Christians,
to be
they're more vicious than libertarians.
Yes, they are.
And they'll do it with a smile and a bless your heart.
Yes, absolutely. And so I totally get it. We've been through it, and there's a lot I could say about that.
Yeah, me too. I've been in the church family. I know how it is.
Yeah. We kind of walked away from the brick and mortar for a little while, and maybe permanently we'll do house church, but wow.
House church is where it's at, though. That's the New Testament model.
It is. It's the early church. I do have to ask you this real quick. Mm-hmm. Not a real libertarian podcast, which is an accurate name for his podcast. Serious question: as an affiliate, what do we need to do to get more funding for the CRM to improve quality of function improvement to the email client?
And I agree with you. The email client sucks. It's being worked on. It's not even a funding thing. Everything is always ultimately a funding thing, but we're trying to make it. How do I explain this? National has two databases right now. We have the CRM, but we also use a program that we're paying for called Razor's Edge. And most of the tech time and development time we have right now is spent trying to make the CRM be able to do everything that Razor's Edge is doing, so that we can have a completely integrated fundraising system. And once that's done, I think attention will be put towards, I think it's just right now it's an attention budget more so than a monetary budget. But I'm not the CRM expert. I'm telling you what I've gleaned from reports. To get the best answer on that, write to Ken Molman, because the CRM is his baby, and he will be able to give you the best answer on that.
For those people that don't know, what does CRM stand for?
I think customer relationship manager, I think. So it's your database of your members and your donors.
Okay, that makes sense. I was asking for myself, really, but I thought.
Yeah, I think there's multiple things that people have said that, but I think the official, I think it's customer relationship manager.
I like that. And that's an internet database.
Yes. It's a totally interactive, database.
Okay. So again, just being totally honest, as the secretary of the National Party, what kind of, encapsulate for us what it is that you do?
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Well, it's funny. A lot on the LNC is what you make of it. Like this is going to sound like a rabbit trail. It's not. But like, for instance, the at-larges, there's no job description. They actually don't have to do a damn thing other than show up to meetings. However, some at-larges take on these huge projects. So a lot of the jobs are what you make of it. If you do the minimum, it's not very much, particularly if you're at large, since the minimum, you don't even have a description, just show up. But excuse me, the coughing. At a minimum, the secretary is the legal record keeper of the party. So I've got to keep all of the legal organizational things, like the minutes, like the delegate issues, the bylaws, the platform, the policy manual. It's almost like what an executive secretary would do in a corporate office. But I've taken on, obviously, a lot more. I do a lot of updating of the website. Normally, like in the past, secretaries have given that to staff. I'm like, I know how to do that. So I do a lot of the updating of the website. I handle a lot of the email issues, setting up the dedicated lists. I work with a lot of the committees. I do Robert's training. I do the historical stuff. I'm on a shit ton of committees. So that's all in addition to just the basic functions. Right. But if anyone's just familiar with being a corporate executive secretary, that's basically what it is, except for no pay.
Right. Yeah. All volunteer. And so I didn't want to assume either way what a secretary within the Libertarian National Party did. Right. Because it sounds, you're like, okay, it's a secretary, but that obviously cannot be just that simple for the third largest national party. And it's not. It's not. You're holding back a little bit. There's
a lot more. I kind of view the secretary role, and this is what I said when I was running, kind of like the reference librarian for the party. So when people want something, I'm usually their first point of contact. I might not be the person to get it for them, but I can refer them to who can get it for them.
Yeah, that's excellent. I do that a lot. There's a lot of times when people ask me stuff, I'm like, you know what? I just don't know. But I know somebody who does, and I'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah. And that's kind of how I view the secretarial role. But like the minutes are a beast. Like a regular LNC meeting, meaning are in person over the weekend, it'll take me about 40 hours to produce a set of minutes.
Holy crap.
Because they're detailed. There's a lot that goes on with creating them. And of course, I'm the little overachiever. I put in the little QR codes to where you can click on it and go find the spot in the video where that's being discussed. I'm totally trying to make my successor's job way harder. That's my goal, that my successor will go, God damn her.
I got a person on my team that's like that.
I'm totally trying to ruin my successor's life.
Maxes me out. Ain't no doubt. I'm not going to attempt to try to read that that line. Mention ORNR.
That is JJ. He's one of my heroes right here. JJ's the guy who saved my ass from getting suspended. He's a parliamentarian, and Robert's Rules of Order is what RONR stands for. So, yeah, I'm kind of a big Roberts geek as well.
I've heard.
Because I do another show, which you may or may not know about, because I do the Pink Flame of Liberty, but a friend of mine, Mike Seebeck, and I also do another YouTube channel called The Cult of RONR, which is just teaching people about Roberts. But in a very irreverent way, because we think it's funny how seriously like libertarians take it and other people. Like, I just don't take it that seriously. I have fun with it, but I can make bylaws fun. That's what I figured. Before, you're going to laugh. Before I got in the Libertarian Party, I used to do a podcast called the Preterist Podcast, where it's religion, and it was dealing with the end times. And I said, if I can make the fucking end of the world funny, I can make anything funny. So I can make Roberts funny. I can make bylaws funny, because I made the apocalypse fucking hilarious. That's all I can say.
That's great. Yeah, eschatology. I love eschatology.
I wrote a book, you know. It's used at Liberty University.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a commentary on Matthew 24.
Nice. I heard you were a Robert's Rules of Order expert. And so it's kind of funny that you say now that you kind of mock it and laugh about it.
Well, I laugh at everything. That's how I deal. Like, I love it, but to me, I don't take anything terribly seriously. Just like I didn't take the freaking apocalypse seriously. You think I'm going to take Robert seriously? So to me, if you can't have fun with something, then why? And I find that people will learn otherwise boring things if you can make them funny. I
value that so much. Like we talked about, and I even said that's the first time I ever said anything about it live in the announcements about how I put the fun first, because the education and the information will fall right in line with it. And so I completely wholeheartedly agree with that. You are also the secretary for the Colorado Party, correct?
I am. I just got that. I'm filling out the remainder of a term, though, because COVID, they didn't have elections the previous year. So I'm coming in midterm. And I'm sleeping with the state chair. It's very scandalous. He's my husband, just in case anyone doesn't know. Yeah, but some people don't. So when I walk around saying I'm sleeping with the chair, they kind of get all, libertarians love getting offended. Libertarians like getting offended more than Christians do, and that is a fucking accomplishment. So
I don't know about that, but
oh no, I know about that. No, let me. Okay, well, never mind. Yeah, so I'm filling out the remainder of that term, and I'm also county secretary, so I got the hat trick of secretary right now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you definitely do. I had Victoria Reynolds on like the Wednesday before y'all's convention. And then that weekend, she was voted out.
Yeah, she hates me now, so.
I wonder why.
You want to know what? The feeling's not reciprocal, so I don't care.
I can imagine it's not.
It's not. So anyway. I like Victoria, and Victoria did a great job with lockdowns. She probably, out of all the state chairs, did the absolute best. We have our differences, but why all of a sudden she hates my guts, I guess that's her problem, because I don't hate hers.
So, yeah, and I don't know that she does. Of course, all of that happened.
Oh, no, she does. No, she told me.
There you go.
This is coming straight from Victoria's mouth. Okay. It's fine. And unless calling me a cancer on the liberty movement is a compliment, which I don't think it is, but I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. If I had like 30 seconds of silence, I could figure out a way to spin that into a compliment, but we ain't got that kind of dead air.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I will have to interview your scandalous sex scandal that you just admitted to.
Yeah, I know.
And so I'm going to need that scandal partner on my show, because he's the state chair, and that's one of my things. I made a post a while back, saying that I wanted to interview every state chair, and I think I'm about a third of the way there. And
he'll come on. He's way different than I am.
Is he going to wear the green hat?
He's very laid back and conservative. I don't mean conservative like politically. I just mean in demeanor. No, he's like, people think like I'm probably married to this no, he's as traditional, like
y'all are opposites.
Totally different.
So y'all are opposites.
Yep. Opposites for sure.
My wife and I are opposites. It works. It's very compatible. It's very compatible when you have such an extreme personality like you and I do. You have to have an extreme personality to get on this stuff and do this crap with the Libertarian Party. There ain't no doubt. But it's very compatible. It makes it very easy, very smooth to have different personalities.
Yeah, complementary. Yeah.
Very complementary. We fill each other's voids. And
so but we have opposing views a lot too. Because Wayne's been state chair before. I think his rulings have been challenged maybe 5 times, and each of those times was by me.
Yes.
I'm always challenging the ruling of the chair. Always.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my
and
God,
and people hilarious. Like last time when I used to be communications director and he was chair, gossipy people would be saying, oh, those two, she's controlling him or whatever. I go, look at the voting record. We vote opposite so often because I'm way more radical than Wayne is. Like, I'm an anarchist. Wayne's not an anarchist. I'm much more mouthy, like totally different. And so anyone who thinks like when we're on a board together, it's like a tag team, they have no idea. Even if they just watched the last board meeting, I was doing the minutes and I was laughing because Wayne said something and I said, no, you don't get to just declare that. It's nice that you think you can, but you have to have a vote. Sorry.
Is he at least a minarchist?
Oh yeah. No, he definitely he's an actual minarchist too, not one of the like whatever flies for that today. But but him and I get into it though, because I've been an anarchist a while now. Yeah,
we have a lot of anarchists in our party. I talk to them very often, and here's the crazy thing that a lot of people don't know, and I do have quite a few people that aren't libertarians that watch the show, and so the libertarian is like a massive umbrella of ideology, and then even within those factions of ideologies, there's umbrellas of ideologies like anarchism, minarchism, libertarianism has like 50,000 different ways that you can go in this direction. Now, I mean, I think it's great. I personally think it's great. A lot of people will say that that's the reason our party's divided. I disagree.
No, because the difference is really when you compare them. We just like to argue. That's right. Because like the difference between an actual minarchist and an anarchist is really, really small. Yeah. It's like ridiculously small. So to me, it's not even worth arguing over. But I see a couple comments that Sam said that Joe Pascal would be a good interview, and he would be. But also Janice had brought up Mimi. Mimi, who's the state chair of California, is a dear friend of mine, and she is awesome. She's a tiny little bundle of energy, man. If you haven't interviewed her, you want to.
There we go. I was looking for it. Yes, I just interviewed Angela McCardle, the county.
Well, she's a bundle of energy too.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, but so is Mimi. Mimi is just wonderful. She's an awesome lady.
Yeah, there's actually the next handful of people that I want to get to in September and November is when I'm not booked to. The middle of September and October is what I want to schedule next. And there's a handful of state chairs that I want to get to. California, Mimi is one of them. Big one. New York, big one.
Yeah, that's Cody, right?
That's Cody. Hawaii, I want to get to.
Tracy, you're testing my knowledge. Is this name the state chair? Tracy Ryan of Hawaii is a bad ass. Yeah. Oh my God, you have to interview her. She's done such work for such activism for legalizing sex work in Hawaii and legalizing all drugs. Like those are her 2 big things. And she is a powerhouse. I love her.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. Like I know I'm going to get them all. I've just I've got to get with them and reach out to them and try not to schedule too far out because I am a little disorganized. But not as much as I probably give off. But you and I talked about it before. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't care either. Let's talk about something.
what you're going to find, though, when trying to coordinate with Tracy is the time. Because I used to be Region 1 representative, so I represented Hawaii. The time zone difference, because it's like 7 hours. It's like it's something really ridiculous. You forget how way out there Hawaii is till you're trying to organize a phone call.
Right. No, I did. Wow, that is bad.
It's way out there. Like, it was difficult.
I do the show with Eskimo all the time, and she's not wrong here. Here's the last one on the list is the Alaskan state chair, and we're only
John. Is that John Watts?
They just changed hands, so I don't know.
Oh, did it? Okay, then it was John. I don't know who's there now, but
yeah, she'll answer in the comments. She'll give us. She'll be right on top of it. John.
It is John. See, look how good I am. Dang! See, I know my state chairs.
You nailed every one of them. You nailed it. Another one that I wanted to get was Florida, but I've got Steve already on the show.
Steve in the collar. Gotcha.
No. I've already got him. And then every other Texas, I got Whitney tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was a reschedule because she fell ill. But I've got Texas tomorrow. But the rest of those, I'm super excited. That's who I want to get next. And then that's basic. I'll have, I guess, about a third of the country left. And I'll polish it off, hopefully, by the end of the year with the rest of the state chairs.
Have you spoken with Connecticut yet?
No.
And it's funny. He's a good friend, and all of a sudden my mind's gone blank. He's a paralegal. He's a badass. It'll come to me. I'm getting old.
So the one you bring up, you forget. That's priceless.
Yeah, and I was just reading something by him, and it's so funny that my mind's now drawing a blank.
I have spoken to somebody in that area about him. And so I know that they're up on the docket. But I'm not sure. But everybody, yeah, absolutely. But now that you say that, I'm gonna go look that up as soon as we get off of here. And
he's very like a very, very good active state chair.
That's awesome. I found that everywhere. Absolutely. My state chair, Vicky Rose, who you talked to.
Yep.
Evan McMahon in Indiana. I always don't do this because I'm not going to remember everybody that I've interviewed. Yeah. And I don't want to offend anybody, but all of the state chair, every state chair that I've interviewed has been freaking incredible. That's why I'm like, okay with what you said. Not more.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's me. I know everybody's not going to agree. That's fine. But I'm okay with it. Every state chair I've interviewed has been magnificent. So if they took the reins, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while you are going to get a dud, but so what? Next convention, you get a different one.
I guess I did get one dud, but we'll leave it there.
Yeah, that happens. And there's too many good ones to even have to worry about the bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, it was just point proven just now.
Yeah.
I thought about the one dud. You know, we've been talking about all the good ones. And so let's say... Let me ask you this. Are you ever planning on running for office?
Do I what?
Do you ever plan on running for office?
Yes. I'm probably running next year because an opportunity has arisen that hardly I have to take it. I'm actually running to be interference to try to get another Libertarian in. So for local city council, our sitting city councils, first name, the incumbent, her name is Caryn, which is my name. So I am going to run a confusion campaign because people will just know that the incumbent's a lady with an unusually spelled first name, and then hopefully split her vote and then have another Libertarian run behind us and get it.
See, I know how sharp you are, and I was concerned there. I had to really double think that because I'm like, nah, she's trying to get me.
Can't be I want to, because people tend to vote for the incumbent, but if they look on the ballot and go, wait, which of these two is the incumbent? I know it's a lady, and I know she has an unusually spelled first name. And run interference and get another Libertarian in that seat. And if I happen to win, I'd take it. No, but I am planning on running multiple public office campaigns in the future. right now I'm doing the LNC thing, but yeah, no, I'll be doing that. That's why, see, listen, I love my haters because they don't think things through. I don't know why they have this idea oh, if we get her off, I'm not talking about the people who just tried to remove me from the LNC. That's not the type of haters I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones who are like, I can't wait to go to convention and vote you out. And it's like, okay, I'll see you there. Because A, what are you threatening me with? More free time and more money? Oh, okay. But it's like they have this idea, if I'm not on the LNC, all of a sudden I'm going to go away. And it's like, dude, think about it. At least now I'm occupied with all of this, because when I'm not, then I'm going to be running public office campaigns, and I might get to embarrass you even more in the public eye. At least now I'm just embarrassing you in internal party politics. Do you really want to give me that much free time? It's like, I don't think you thought this through. You think if I'm not on the LNC, all of a sudden I'm out of the party? No. So I think for most of the people who I embarrass, they probably would want to keep me locked up in the LNC as long as possible. Because when I'm going to run public office campaigns, mama's going to get some attention. That's all I'm going to say, because I know how to do that. And also these people, I have some haters who hate my position on abortion. So they freak the fuck out when I'm on the platform committee, and they get all upset when I become platform committee chair. And I'm like, you do realize that the chair generally doesn't debate. So if you want me not to put my opinions on the platform committee, you should want for me to be platform committee chair, because that will mean I'm not debating. But they always try to defeat me being chair. And I'm like, okay, be careful what you wish for, because then I'll just start debating everything if I'm on the committee. I've never been on the national platform committee when I haven't chaired it. So no one's ever seen how radical I can get, because I've chaired it and you have to be neutral. So these people who are so worried about my radical ideas should want me to be chair, but instead they try to defeat me being chair. And it's just use it.
Are you going to run for office in Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to run for somewhere else. You know what I mean? Obviously.
What do you mean? Guam?
No. No. Somewhere else besides local office is what. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Local office as opposed to Senate Congress.
Well, probably. Because they're more winnable. But I also I don't know. I think you get more. I don't really even know why I've made that decision. But probably just Colorado offices. Though I've had people try to recruit me to try to convince Dave Smith to be his running mate in the next
presidential election. He hasn't even declared,
beauty
right?
pageant. What?
He hasn't declared, has he?
He's going to run.
Really? I mean, I've heard he's going.
And I'm there for that. I'm not there to be his. I don't mean there for it to be his running mate. I mean, right. I'm there for him running. And what I said to people who said that to me is, you have to be able to. You can't do that if you're working a regular job. You have to have the type of job like Adam Kokesh, where he supports himself by doing online stuff or whatever. And I don't have that luxury, so I am not a contender for that. If for some reason I am able to support myself through the activism type stuff I do, yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to embarrass everybody nationally. I'm half joking, but I do embarrass all the right people.
Yeah, somebody says run with Dave. I've equally heard he was running, and I've equally heard that he does not want to at all.
No, he's running. I mean, I'm not like his best friend or anything. I'm just telling you my prediction. He's running. Right. I don't have any inside track, Do
you have the inside track on if you're going to be his running mate if he decides to run?
Oh, no. Unless my life situation changes, I most definitely am not.
Okay.
Because I have to work a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, me too. Harlos for Dave, Secretary of State. Okay,
So,
what office would you run for in Colorado, since it wouldn't be for a national seat?
local city council probably,
Okay.
or House, Colorado House.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would want to run for something where if I won, I could actually do things, make a difference, an immediate difference.
That's right.
And town council, you can make a big difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have so many people that come on the show that have won city council, running for city council. The people in my area running for city, those are really where you affect change on a real level that actually helps people in their day-to-day lives. Yeah. I love that. What city I'm sure everybody else knows. I don't know. What city are you in?
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock. That's an awesome name. Like on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. When I was moving here, my boss in Florida had said, yeah, he thought, he was like, what is it, Game of Thrones? Castle Rock? I'm like, well.
Castle Rock.
Mm-hmm. And we are actually a home rule town as well. So we actually have a decent town council, and they like really bucked all the COVID restrictions and stuff. So I've been pretty happy with it. Though my particular representative, the one who bears the same name as me, I'm not happy with her. So I'll enjoy running against her.
So there's a part of me that wants you to win that and not just do it.
Well, I was fucking with her bad last time because Wayne ran against her last time, and she was arguing about some kind of regulations we needed. And I said, oh my God, we definitely do. Before you know it, the furries will be yipping in the dog park. And I'm just imagining her having to look up yipping. And I was like, have fun.
Right. So my 5-year-old has been, well, he's almost 5. He's been wearing glasses since he was 18 months old. I think those are real.
Oh, they're real.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm blind without them.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I had to ask for my own. Again, I've had a child for 4 and something years now that's had glasses, and I'm watching. I'm like, I don't know if there's a fake. I'm like, no,
they're
those
real.
Are real.
I'm blind as a bat, and I have contacts on. I have to wear these for close up. The contacts are for distance, and these are so I can see this screen.
Okay.
I'm a mess because, like, after 50, everything just started falling apart.
Yeah, I'm approaching 40, and so
it doesn't get better.
No, I know my back. my back is brutal every day. I don't know what's going on here. It's funny, but I was going to ask you for why the glasses over the contacts, but.
That's why. And I'm not a candidate for LASIK. So
why is that?
I have a weird eye shape. Like, just leave it at that. Certain people aren't candidates because of that's how your eye issues are by, like, your eye is all elongated or something. And mine's just totally fucked up.
Yeah. My wife and, all of her family suffer severely from glaucoma. So both of her parents are completely blind. One of my nieces had a ton of surgeries because of glaucoma. And so, but I would have never thought that you couldn't get LASIK because of a weird eye shape. That seems like a government overreach issue to me.
And my mom drank when she was pregnant. That's what I blame it on.
I blame that on my height. My mom smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day when she was pregnant. And while everybody else is over 6 feet, I was stuck at 5'10". And so I blame it on her cigarettes. Ashley says, I'm not a candidate because there's no way in hell I'm going under a laser without being asleep.
I know. That would be also kind of frightening, but my eyesight's so bad, I was considering it.
My grandfather had LASIK done at a late age, and he had one eye done, and then he went back like 2 or 3 weeks later, and he had the other eye done. And so I didn't know they were awake, though. That seems weird. Really? That seems odd. So as we get done here, I know that you just signed up for Clubhouse. Oh, wait, you've got something going on right after this, don't you?
No.
Okay. You want to get on
right before?
All right. I thought you said you had something afterwards.
No, I did the history thing before. I don't have. No, after this informal, I got to talk to somebody about delegates, but it wasn't like an appointment. It's just, I said when I'm done.
Okay.
Whenever that is.
All right. Sweet. If you want, we can jump on Clubhouse and do an after party because we can't put everything in a 45-minute. We're 56 minutes now, but it's whatever. We're having fun. And so if you want, we can jump on Clubhouse afterwards. I'll create the room anyway.
Okay.
And we can jump on there and just have fun with everybody. I did want to ask you this, and we got sidetracked because you and I are talkers, and this is just going to happen, right? You said beforehand you did a historical podcast, and I was yes, I want to hear about it. Then we got distracted, and then somebody commented, I want to hear about this historical podcast. So before we wrap this up, can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, it's on my Pink Flame of Liberty channel. I do LP history, do a segment on LP history weekly every Friday. Sometimes more often, but at least every Friday. So I'm using the framework of issues of LP news since that has existed since the beginning. So I'm going back to this same month, but in 1973. So I just did, excuse me, what month are we in? July 1973, earlier today. So I'm going month by month through LP news to discuss what happened in the party and in the world during that period of time.
That's awesome.
So
you
yeah,
broadcast that on Facebook?
Yeah, well, it's on Facebook because I use, eCam, but it's my YouTube channel, Pink Flame of Liberty. Okay. But I do a lot of different things there. I do all my LNC commentary there, but the history is kind of what I started that channel for. But I do ballot access stuff. It's all just inside baseball LP stuff because there really wasn't anyone doing that.
No, I think that's great. I think a lot of people would love to hear the history of the LP on a regular basis. Ashley, my teammate, says message her my form. And so I'll have Ashley send that to you. What she's trying to do is put together a calendar on a website so that everybody can get all of our programs. They know the times, they know the channels, they know the description and name. And so we'll have that We'll have her send that to you. Sorry. So, what else you want to plug before we jump into Clubhouse?
No, that's pretty much it. I always just encourage people to come over to my YouTube channel if they want all the LP that they can handle. And you will learn a lot about the how the sausage is made. That's basically what I cover over there as far as national is. So before any LNC meeting, I'll talk about what's expected to be on the agenda. And then afterwards, I kind of do a breakdown and all of that. And I see Mimi's now in chat. She must have gotten summoned by our compliments.
What the? Oh, there she is. Hey, Mimi. Yeah, she must have gotten summoned. Her ears were burning or somebody told her to come over here because we're talking about her. Mimi, I'm going to have you on the show. I will friend request you on Facebook so that we can talk. I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is about Pink Flame of Liberty. I'm talking about other people.
It's about the Liberty community. That's what matters.
It does. But still. Okay, Liberty Shamrocker. You may know her as Connie. See you on Clubhouse.
Hello.
All right. Well, I'm going to kick us both out of here, and then we will get in Clubhouse right away. I assume that Ashley is creating us a room, and so I'll jump in there real quick because I know you follow me on Clubhouse, and I'll add you as the co-host, and then I will see you in a little bit.
Okay, see you in a few.
Awesome. Thank you, Caryn Ann.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome. We'll have her right in Clubhouse right after this. Fantastic, super energetic, very honest. I love that. Okay, Ashley says just did. Thank you very much, Ashley. Speaking of Ashley, Lord, have mercy. Did I just completely ruin? I am definitely Muddy Waters Media. I am definitely part of that crew now. Let's see, where is it at? There it is. High-end bags and accessories, fierce luxury. I almost said laundry. I really just did that. Fierce Luxury by Ashley. So, Fierce Luxury is a high-end bag and accessories consignment store based online. They carry the hottest brand like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, and Hermes. Consign with them for a 30% fee, 20% less than most consignment stores. Find them online at fierceluxurybyashley.com. That's fierceluxurybyashley.com, and on Facebook in their exclusive group, Fierce Luxury by Ashley. Need the website? Just add Fierce Luxury by Ashley with a .com, and you got it. There it is right there. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not. It's circling that website. So please visit that store. Ashley is a major teammate of mine, and she helps me out in so many ways. So please go to that store and buy something at a very cheap price for a very great product. On a lesser note, somebody who's not that cool and very terrible at their job, Jack Casey, author of theroyalgreen.com. That's it. Mermail, books, something about sci-fi. There's definitely some R-rated sexual material in there. Probably not written well because, let's be honest, it's Jack Casey. He's terrible. He loves Caryn Ann Harlos, though, and I love Jack Casey. And I love that interview with Caryn Ann Harlos. And I love Jack Casey. But I hate his books because they're freaking terrible. But he's a good punching bag, and I love him very much. I've got Joe Solosky coming on the show. So now I'm just doing free ads for everybody. Who cares, right? Joe Solosky for governor of Pennsylvania, the key to Pennsylvania's success. Joe Solosky will be coming onto the program very shortly so that we can talk about his run for governor. And I can tell you right now, that dude is funny and has good jokes, and I'm super excited to have him on. I am headed to PA very soon. James Reynolds. Great show. Thank you, my friend. Tunica is next weekend, July 9th through 11th. Tunica, Mississippi at the Horseshoe Resort Casino and Hotel. Spike will be there. Matt Wright will be there. I will be there. Adam Kokesh will be there. Brian Lambert will be there. Tasha Cohen, most importantly, will be there. But more importantly than that, my wife will be there. And so, superfan Sarah and Eric will be there. Awesome time. Gun raffle. I don't think I have the picture for that. I don't have the picture for that. That's how it goes sometimes. Talk too much. Been talking all day. I've really got to spend less time on Clubhouse. By the time I get to these things, my tongue is worn out. But it doesn't matter. I love it because I don't know why. I just like people. I love people, and I love every one of y'all. As I tell you so often, that is very real. That's very true. I love every single person that's here. I love every single person that I get to talk to and come in contact with and partner in this movement for liberty. And so it's absolutely 100% worth it. I will see you on Nope. Ha! This is happening every show now. Yay. I will not see you on Sunday, Cajun Eskimo show, although I will. But that is not the next one, folks. The next one is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will have the Texas Libertarian Party State Chair, the magnificent and wonderful Whitney Bilyeu, on the show. And that will be incredible as well. Tons of fun tonight. Thank you so much for showing up. I will see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time with Whitney Bilyeu. Let's jump in Clubhouse with Caryn Ann Harlos, who is absolutely exceptional and just a bright, resilient mind in our party and a never giver upper. Got to respect that no matter what. I absolutely love her energy, and let's get into Clubhouse. Other than that, I love you very much. I will see you tomorrow, and then I will see you Sunday at 2 Central Standard Time. Muddy Waters Media, the Cajun Eskimo Show. From Bayous to Igloos, episode 4. I love you very much, and I am out.